Men who like to keep their morning routine simple will love these multi-for-him gummies, specially formulated with 12 key nutrients designed to support men's daily nutritional needs. Nature-made multi-for-him gummies help support muscle and bone health. It improves your immune health, and it increases your energy metabolism. With the quality you can trust, nature-made multi-for-him gummies have no artificial flavors, no synthetic dyes, no high fructose corn syrup, no artificial sweeteners, and is gluten-free. Pharmacists around the world have recommended Nature Made to be the #1 vitamin and supplement brand. So when you need something that's going to help you get you through the day, when you need something that's going to increase your energy to help you get you through that workout, to make you perform as an elite athlete at the top of your ability, try Nature Made multi-for-him gummies, because you don't want to stop.
To the 12th round.
Welcome to the Terror Dome. You should be heading home, cause you could bring all of your ninjas and the Technodrome. I rip right through your flesh and bone and mental capacity. Flood your mind with atrocities and copious tragedies. This dark Sabbath is a lesson in street. Behold the church of the ghetto, feel the words when I preach. Amen. Let the Lord say a prayer for they don't end up in front of someone banging their trigger. Living life like a war pig. Fuck the law, I'm getting mine. Let the others figure what the cost is. Purchasing the fortress on gorgeous acres enormous. Car park full of foreigners and women just waiting on us. We living the dream. Y'all living like hell is earthbound. We are not the same. You've been a lame since birth, pal. I don't feel sorry. I recommend they go dirt bound. Doggy dog world, and you've been looking like Chuck Brown.
Yo, what's going on, people? This is your boy, Roosevelt, the man who likes to fight. And as you can see, I don't got the best damn crew with me today. Brian's taking care of some things. LP's getting ready for his fashion show. Chef is somewhere cooking up something good. But I got my man in the house tonight. I got a special guest, and we got some other fellas that's going to join us a little bit later, man, once they finish taking care of their business, because that's what we do around here. We take care of business. But I got my man right here, 150 grand right here. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you see this dude in the ring, you already know it's banger on banger on banger. You know what I'm saying? Yo, this dude, let me tell you something. I seen this dude hit a kid in the chest, and I swear for the Lord, he knocked the black off this kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nobody chopping like my man. Ain't nobody putting him down like my man's. I got all respect, all love. I honor this dude. Ladies and gentlemen, my special guest right here today, the one and only Will Huckaby. What up, bro?
What up? Let me give you, man, such an introduction. I don't know about that banger after banger. I just slowed down some now, man. You know, I just celebrated 20 years in the wrestling business, so I'm not as good as I once was, but I'm about as good as I'll ever be.
Hey, man, listen, you might not be as good as you once was in your own eyes, but ain't nobody stepping up to you to even match up where you used to be and where you at now.
I'll tell you what, man, a lot of these young kids don't realize, I think I'm having, storyline wise, I'm having the best matches of my career. Mm-hmm. You know this, when you're younger, you're way more athletic, but once you get older, you start understanding how to tell a story and you understand human psychology, so you don't have to do as much to actually get the crowd reaction like you used to.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of stories, man, let's get right to it, bro. We got stories to tell, but before we even get to the main meat and potatoes of the whole joint while we coming here today. Let's start with you, bro. I'm gonna do this like my man Brian would always do. I'm gonna hit you with the question. Well, Huckaby, when did you fall in love with professional wrestling?
Oh man, wait, why, man? You got a bunch of young kids watching this podcast. It was last century, as the young kids say, man. Last millennia, man. I'll say 1985, 1986. Watching Crockett Promotions, watching wrestling on the 605, watching wrestling at 605 on the Superstation, on TBS and stuff, man. I think that's when I fell in love with wrestling, man. I was watching, Flair and Steamboat and Dusty Rhodes, man. Ooh, Jesus, so long ago.
Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah. So about 40 years ago.
So before you got into professional wrestling, did you do any type of sports, anything in high school? Like what was your moves?
Yeah, I did amateur wrestling, ran track, did some cheerleading. I was way too short to play basketball. When I graduated high school, I was like 5'2", 125 pounds. I was way too small to play football. So yeah, that was about it. I wasn't a super great athlete. But I'm, the jack of all trade, master of none. Like I can play any sport to a certain proficiency, but I wasn't like varsity or getting letters or going to, state championships and state titles. Like I wasn't one of those guys.
Right. So what made you decide to take that step between them ropes and take your first bump?
Well, I've always been a fan of professional wrestling. And then before I got into professional wrestling, I was a backyarder. I was backyard wrestling with some friends, and I was working at a gas station in Havelock, North Carolina. And this guy came in and was like, "Hey, can I put this flyer up on your wall, on your window?" And I was like, "Sure. What's it for?" And he says, "For this, wrestling show." And I was like, "You mean like WWE wrestling?" Because I was a huge fan. And he was like, "Yeah, just like WWE wrestling." And I was like, "Sure." So I go to the show. I ended up going to the show that week, loving the show. I think the main event was Damian Wayne versus now who's known as Dax Harwood. But back then he was known as Casey McKnight. Somebody me and you both have a lot of history with both of those guys.
Yep.
And I watched the show, and then after the show, I walked up to Damian Wayne and I was like, "Look, man, I want to do what you guys do. Like I backyard wrestle, but I want to do what you guys do." And he told me, he was like, you gotta go to a school and you gotta get trained. There's all these steps. And he pointed me in the direction of the first guy who kind of broke me into the business. And then from there, it's just been off to the races.
Okay. And you said 20 years in the game, man. Drop some names of people you had the opportunity to step in the ring with.
Ricky Morton, Damian Wayne, Chance Prophet, Brian Logan, who was the last legitimate AWA world champion, the franchise, Shane, help me out. Shane Douglas, just a bunch of people. It's so many people. I've been on shows with Buff Bagwell. Actually, no, I've wrestled Buff Bagwell and Johnny Swinger. Man, just a who's who of people, man.
Yeah.
That's the cool thing about what we do is that like we grow up watching these guys, and then after a while you end up becoming friends with them and working with them. And so a lot of people don't get to do that. It's like being a basketball player and end up being on the same team with Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Or being an actor and being in a movie with somebody.
It's like doing a movie with Denzel. Exactly.
Right. And it's crazy because I watch a lot of stuff. I'm big on TikTok, and I see a lot of guys that get these opportunities with people they watched on movies because they've made their waves and stuff like that. So I want to segue into the difference between when you first started wrestling to what it's like now. Like, what's the biggest difference that you see? Or like, was it more difficult then? Is it less difficult? Is it more difficult now? Like, what's your feel on it?
Well, wrestling is a reflection of society, and we become, everybody gets to be a part of this society. Wrestling now, it's so easy to get into wrestling now. There's schools everywhere, and people who shouldn't be training people are training people. And 20 years ago, even though it wasn't as bad as the generation before me, they still protected the business as they matter of fact, I just did a tryout for this kid this past weekend. He wanted to try out to be a wrestler, And I told him exactly what my trainers had told me. Like, we're gonna make you throw up and we're gonna make you quit, and we don't care what order it happens in. And the kid ended up quitting because this isn't for everybody. Wrestling is for everybody, but being a wrestler is not for everybody. So I would say, but at the same time, while I miss some of the traditions we used to uphold back in the day, I think that overall wrestling is so much better than it is now. The drug culture, the sexuality culture, ring rats and all that stuff, like the drugs and the alcohol, and having cases or suitcases and coolers of beer in the locker room before your match, and guys snorting pills before their match, and then the ring rats and all that stuff. Like, all of that's not a part of the business, really. So that part's good. We don't have to worry about a lot of wrestlers dying early like they did in the Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression Era. But at the same time, I really wish that we still held some of those traditions that we used to hold.
Yeah. Man, so all right, let's get to the meat and potatoes, bro. let's get to the infamous trip. Like, Ric Flair got the.
Before we go into the story, I would like to say, because my buddies and stuff down here in Georgia, they don't believe the kind of life that I've had in the last 20 years. And I tell them all the time, it's like, I'm never the main, like, I'm around for some of the most ridiculous things that ever happened. I was like, but I'm never the main actor. I'm always a supporting actor in these situations. I just happen to be around when these things happen. So for those of y'all listening, this had nothing to do with me. I just happened to be in the car and walking down the street when all this stuff happened.
And I really wish the other guys was here, man. James Anthony, Joe Black, Chandra.
Yeah.
And he was on the show a couple weeks ago, and he spoke about this trip. So I really wish he was on here to kind of, and it's good that you're here so you can reiterate what he said. Yeah. So that way everyone knows what he said was for real.
Bro, so, me and Chandra, the Big Hurt, bro, me and the Big Hurt were dying laughing the whole time because we just couldn't believe all the crazy stuff we were being witnesses to.
Yeah.
All right, let's start the story.
I had nothing to do with any of it.
Use a lie. We're gonna get to your part. Oh, we're gonna get to your part.
I had nothing to do with any of it.
Lies. The throne of lies you sit on.
I mean, a king is a king somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
We're gonna get to it.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we were on our way to do a tryout in New York for Marvelous.
Marvelous Pro.
Yeah, Marvelous Pro, a Japanese company. And it was me, James Anthony, my guest, Will Huckaby, Joe Black, and former guest, Mr. Big Hurt. We're all driving up there, and we're supposed to have some other cats with us, but they couldn't make it.
Yeah, they all backed out the last second, yeah.
Yeah. Money and whatever, and, family and girlfriends and all that other shit. But we was on our way, and we get to the city.
Oh my God, that's where the trip starts at, right there. That's where the trip starts at. Because we were all switching, we're going from North Carolina. Like I came all the way from the coast. So I pick up Joe first. And then we picked up you and James Anthony at the same time. And then we picked up Dre last.
Yep.
And so we're heading up from North Carolina basically all the way to New York City. And we're just, everything's great. We're having a great time and we're laughing, joking the road. And then we get to the city. And for those of y'all who don't know, we get to the bridge. Well, I don't even know what bridge. What was it? The Brooklyn Bridge?
Yes.
We get to Brooklyn Bridge, and the lanes are this big, ladies and gentlemen. And I want to say, who was it? Dre that was driving?
Dre was driving,
and he's white knuckle on the stairway. And you were everybody else is freaking out because everybody's doing 100 miles an hour, and the lanes are so small. And you're like, yo, you need to speed up. And we're like, what are you talking about? And then we get over the bridge, and it's like people are double parking on the streets, and we can barely get through. And you're like, pull over,
car to car, bumper to bumper, and people. And I'm telling Dre, I said, "Yo, they getting ready to cut in front of you." Nah, skirt right in front of them.
Yes. And then you got so frustrated with his driver, you're like, "Pull the car over." And he's like, "I don't got nowhere to pull over." You like, just stop the car
in the middle of traffic.
In the middle of traffic.
In the middle of traffic.
And then you take off. And we're just like, oh God, we're gonna all die.
Look, and that's the same thing Dre said. And I'm telling y'all, it wasn't even that bad.
Look, look, as soon as you got down to like you stopped being the Victor Andrews that we knew. As soon as you touched down on that home soil, you was like, oh, I'm back home. Oh, I got this. And there was no way we should be like, bro, we was in a huge SUV, by the way.
Uh-huh.
And like there was no way you should be making those turns and going down some of those streets you were going down.
Bro. I mean, you know, when you home, you home, right?
You see what I'm saying? That's where the problem started right there, ladies and gentlemen. And then you end up driving the rest of the weekend.
Because why not?
It's because nobody else wanted to drive. Everybody's like, I'm not driving in this city. This sucks. This is terrible.
The funniest part, and we're gonna move to the rest of the funniest part was, and I didn't notice it until we got to the hotel, was you and Dre, the two biggest. Hold on, before we get to that, ladies and gentlemen, we bringing back another former guest. You know what I'm saying? This leader of the Pantheon. He's the king of kings. My man, Will Huckaby's man, Joe Black is in the building. We just got to the part where we just got to the city on our way to the tryout. Why are you shaking your head, bro? So you co-signing that shit too?
Bruh. Bruh.
we got to the city.
We just got to a part, Joe. We just got to a part, Joe, where they switched drivers, where Victor took over the driver's seat.
I'm thankful to God that Vic took over.
Thank you.
Because as soon as we got into New York, my anxiety started climbing, my heart started pounding. I'm a Southern boy. It's like, what are these? Why is everybody flipping me the bird? You know what I'm saying? Why are these people so angry? And then Vic said in the calmest voice, I got this. All right, I trust you, man.
Nah. Me and Chandra were in the back seat freaking out.
Bro, y'all was back there like this.
Holding on to the old shit bar, yep.
The two biggest dudes in the car, yep. Hey, man, calm down. What's the matter? It's going to be okay. And I'm like, chill. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Calm as hell. I got this.
We get to the hotel, and Dre and Huckaby are on the ground like, thank you, God.
Bro, I thought you were going to kill us, man. I thought we were going to die in that car. I swear I did.
That shit was hilarious. Oh, man.
So, I mean, the hotel wasn't that bad. I was wilding because it's like, oh, we're in Jamaica, Queens, and I don't see no Jamaicans. There's nothing but Spanish people here. Like, I feel like somebody lied to me.
Ignorant. You mad ignorant, bro.
I'm way more country than you are, Joe.
I know you are.
Okay.
You can have that. You can have that.
When you said Jamaica Queens, I'm thinking it's gonna be a bunch of Shabba Ranks. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, what?
Terrible.
I didn't know. I didn't know.
That's like us saying we get down south and we expect to see a bunch of dudes just riding on trucks and whatnot, or going to Texas and see
wearing a banjo, wearing overalls.
Well, I mean, depending on what part of Georgia you go to.
I mean, depending on what part you go to, that is accurate. Yeah, he right.
Yeah, you're right. And I was just driving through South Carolina this past weekend. I felt like I heard banjos the entire fucking 24-hour drive through South Carolina on 95. Why does it take so long to get through South Carolina, bro?
Did you pass through south of the border?
Yes.
Man.
You know what? It's not that it takes so long to get through South Carolina. It's that there's nothing there when you're on 95. Once you leave 95 and hit I-20, there's really nothing there.
Nothing at all.
Except south of the border.
Yeah. Bro, I drove through Georgia, and I swear I got through Georgia in like 30 minutes. I didn't even know I was even in Georgia until I fucking saw the sign. And then I got to South Carolina, I was like, all right, exit 1. Then I was like, all right, 3 hours later, I'm at exit 10 with no fucking traffic.
Nothing.
Bro, it's like driving to Kansas City. Once you get past St. Louis, there is nothing there. Or Joe will tell you, if you're driving to Memphis, once you get past Knoxville, or once you get past Nashville, you'll fall asleep in the car, bro.
Pretty much.
But all right, so we get to the hotel. The hotel wasn't that bad. It wasn't great. I mean, it smelled like piss, but the whole hotel smelled like piss.
Everywhere in New York, though.
I'm just saying, I don't know why y'all who is pissing in these hallways in New York, man?
Crackheads.
You gotta go.
Winos.
We'll get to that later. We'll get to the crackhead part later. But I was like, yo, why is this whole hotel like everything but our room smelled like piss?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't know.
We ain't gonna see. We ain't gonna talk about that.
We ain't gonna discuss that part. We ain't gonna bring up that part.
Squirrel secrets, all right?
Yeah. Some things we keep in the bag.
Exactly. So we check in, and then the best part. Here's the best part of the day. The first day, we walked down to the building because we were close enough to the actual building that we walked down to the building. Oh no, we drove. Actually, I'm sorry, we drove.
We drove to the building. We walked to go get some breakfast.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, we drove to the building. And we get to the building, and they're like, "Hey, are you the guys from Canada?" Now, first of all, set the scene. It's us three, Chandre, and then the smallest person is James Anthony.
Mm-hmm.
But we get to the building, and like they open the door. Amazing Red opens the door, and it's like, "Oh, are you the guys from Canada?" And I don't know if the rest of y'all were, but I was insulted immediately. I was like, "Hell no, we're from North Carolina." And he like shuts the door, like slams the door on us real quick. And like turns around and starts cussing and fussing, comes back and is like, "Oh, it doesn't start till 5 o'clock. You guys got 30 minutes.
Right.
Come back in 30 minutes."
Because he has to warn everybody that's in the school that we are there and we about to come in and show y'all ass up.
Which we end up doing, but that's further down the story. But I thought we was gonna be able to get there, 30. You get there 30 minutes ahead of time. You're able to change, stretch, warm up. You know what I'm saying? And they were already like training or something at the time, weren't they?
Yeah, training.
They were trying to get them right, and get them ready to get their opportunity over in Japan, which they didn't.
No, thank you. That's what they get. Anyway, all right. Anyway, you go ahead, Vic.
Well, let's run back to when we went to go get some breakfast, because I think we went to go get breakfast first. And,
no, that was the next day, wasn't it?
Nah, that was the same day.
No, same day?
Yeah, the next day I think we just drove back.
That's right.
So we went to go get some breakfast, and Huck is one of those guys. He's like, "Yo, I just want to get my breakfast. I don't want no shit." Me and Joe are like,
No. First of all,
I'm going to pay for it. I want it done the way I want it.
No. First of all, let's go with the distance we had to walk. Because you told us, it's
you only had to walk like a mile and a half.
Exactly. He said, it's like 2 blocks down the road.
It's a couple of blocks.
Yeah, couple of blocks.
We walked a mile and a half to go get breakfast, bro.
But did you die?
Yes.
You got your food?
Bro, that is not a mile and a half. Is not a couple blocks. That's a mile and a half.
When you don't realize that you're walking that far. I don't know how you even realize you even walked that far.
Because I'm
me and Vic, it felt like a couple blocks.
First of all,
nice brisk walk.
First of all, I'm the oldest person in the car.
You are.
Okay? All of y'all were basically in y'all 20s. I was like damn near 40, first of all. I was like 35, 36.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I was already older than y'all with bad knees. And then you make me walk a mile and a half to this restaurant.
But you ate. You ate good.
But you got your food.
Let's talk about the food. Go ahead. Let's talk about the food, Joe.
The food was
if I'm paying for something and I want my eggs a certain way, I don't think it's asking too much to make sure the eggs are a certain way.
Right.
I'm paying for it. It's not like you're doing me a favor. I'm paying.
That's how you feel too, Vic?
Absolutely. Every time.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, these people are fucking with y'all, okay? We go to this diner and we order our food. And because I've already been warned about how Victor is about his food. And so we're all ordering. And I'm like, hey, let me order my food now and order it separate. Because I already know how this Mickey Ficky is about to be. So did I not? I said, hey, take my order right now and go ahead and turn my order in. Go ahead and make my food. Because when he comes, you're going to spit in his shit. And I don't want the cooks knowing that we together.
You did. But, you know what I'm saying? Again, if I'm paying for it, it needs to be made the way I want it made.
Tell your fans what you want for your order. What your order was.
My order was pancakes, grits, and at the time when I was eating eggs, it was eggs scrambled with cheese.
No brown on my eggs
No
whatsoever.
brown. No, don't have no brown on my eggs. I don't want no.
Yeah.
It don't need to be overcooked. Why are you cooking it so hard?
Exactly.
Bruh. Luckily, I got my food because they put your tray down, and it wasn't even a lot. I think it was like maybe one small piece had brown, and you like immediately like, excuse me, there's brown on my eggs. Can you have them remake it? We're like, bruh, just if you don't want to eat that, just take that part off.
Nah, man.
It was more than just a little piece, bro.
It was a little bit, bro. It was not enough to take the whole tray back.
It wasn't.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you.
No.
My memory's a little bit better than yours.
Joe, first of all, Joe's just agreeing with you because he will never agree with me.
No, I mean, I won't, but that's not the reason.
See? He would never agree with me, even if I'm right. There was not enough brown in those eggs for you to send it back.
It definitely was. It definitely was.
And then
but we all got our food. We all got our food. It was good.
Mm-hmm.
We ate good. We walked back to the hotel. We chilled. We went to the tryout. We did our thing. Dre almost killed somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, the walk back or there?
There. Tryout.
What happened? Come on, the tryout?
Yeah, the kid that messed up in the match.
Bro, you're missing the best part of the whole breakfast. Was the walk back when we saw the bus accident. You remember that?
Forgot about
that? Remember the bus accident where the lady tried to cut off the city bus and her hubcap came off, and me and Dre were climbing up because she was trying to get sued. It was like, yo, you better pick your hubcap back up because you know your ass is already late for work.
That. That's hilarious.
That was the best part. Was me and Dre, because she was out there. Like, remember that black lady was out there fussing. Told us, I'm gonna sue y'all. We're like, you better pick your damn hubcap up and head your ass to work. You done it your third straight.
Right.
And we kept calling the lady Shirley. Remember, we kept calling the lady Shirley.
Yeah, Big Shirley.
Yes.
I forgot about that. Damn,
man.
That trial was bullshit, though.
That trial was bullshit. That trial was. We went in there and got busy as we should, and as everyone knew we would. That's why they closed the door on us so fast, because we got there so early.
Yep.
I will. So another thing, I don't think y'all know this. That was my first time meeting. What's her name? She's the trans wrestler for AEW.
Nyla Rose.
Now, so that was my first time seeing Nyla Rose in person.
Oh yeah. Oh,
remember that, Vic?
I do remember that.
So I'm only saying this story because it goes into the next day's story as well. I see Nyla and I don't realize it's Nyla Rose. I just see this like very thick, athletic built female, and I'm like eyeballing the shit. I'm like, wow, And Vic is like, you know what that is, right? And I'm like, nah. He's like, that's Nyla Rose. I'm like, who? He's like, Nyla Rose. Who the hell's Nyla Rose? And then Vic gives me the Iggy, and I'm like, oh shit. And he's like, yeah, stop that. And I was like, shit, my bad.
Big pause.
Yeah, big pause. And then but no, the tryout was, man, there was a lot of people there that was trash. Even in my opinion, the people that they chose was trash.
I don't even remember who they chose.
For the show.
I'll tell you who. I was like, I don't care about getting heat.
Who was it?
So at the time, it was a very young Ace Austin. Like they chose him, and they chose
in the Cars gimmick.
Yeah.
First time doing the Cars and Magic.
And then there was a very young Sonny Kiss, who was nowhere near as good as he is now.
Sonny?
Yep.
Sonny was there. Yep.
Okay.
That's
it too. And then there was a couple other people. There was like two other people they chose, but I remember them too because like they've gone on to do stuff. But I was like, those guys were nowhere near as good as we were.
Right.
Because like I know because the guy came up and told me and Joe we had one of the best matches of the seminar.
The guy came up, and I still hate this shit. He came up, looked at me, and said, "We were going to pick you, but we had to pick 2 House of Glory guys." And it's like, I don't know why he decided to tell me that, because it instantly soured my mood. I don't mind if I go to a trial and nothing happens. That's part of the game. When you come up and say, "Oh, we were going to pick you, but we had to run the gimmick, brother," it's like, bro, you could have kept that to yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
Like they had already picked 2 House of Glory guys to take the spots already.
Yeah, they already knew who they wanted.
Yeah,
that was that predetermination bullshit.
exactly.
Same way it was when I did the pro wrestling Noah trial in San Diego. They already know who they had picked.
Yep. Same thing happened with me with what was the one White Quackenbush ran?
Oh, for Wrestling is Fun? For the Young Lions Cup?
No, the one in Jersey.
Oh, okay. I know which one you're talking about. I just can't remember it, but I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah. I went up there and did that trial. But it seemed like our entire fucking careers, bro, I felt like we always got busy and it was kind of undeniable. But then it was like, oh, well, you know, we kind of chose this person because X, Y, and Z and shit.
It's like, oh, yeah, that's what they told me and Joe. It's like, oh, well, they let us use their building and their ring. So the deal for that was we chose we had to choose 2 of their guys.
Right.
So
I'll tell you, it's because we got knowledge itself. And that is a powerful component, especially for a black man in this medium of entertainment. And that's a problem for some folk. You know what I'm saying? They want you to be able to acquiesce to what they want you to be. But when you come in the door and you saying, this is me, this is who I am, and I'm not about to denigrate myself for your entertainment or to make you feel more secure with your old lady, your promotion, whatever. You know, a lot of people don't like that. Booker T, when I was working with Booker, he told me that was going to happen. He said, you don't listen. You hard-headed. And he said, that's cool. He said, but if you're trying to get to the next level, sometimes I was like, nope, I can't play ball. Can't do it.
I will say, you know, kind of playing devil's advocate for them. Like, we were a pretty intimidating group of guys. Because at the time is when, you gotta think, Joe, at the time, that's when me and you was working out with Zeus. So we were in immaculate shape. And then, you know, Victor and James have always been in good shape. And then even Chandre was in great shape. And he's the biggest one of all. He wasn't like super jacked muscular, but he was still in great freaking shape. You know, so you see these 5 black guys come and they all look TV ready. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's pretty intimidating when you're the average indie wrestler.
Yeah. And then the craziest thing too, none of them wanted to pair up with us.
Nope.
No.
They saw us and was like, well, I'm gonna work with this one. I'm like, all right, go ahead.
Yeah, they already had their teams. They already knew, like, oh, I'm gonna work with this guy. I'm gonna work with my buddy and stuff. That's why I wish we would have had a 6-person, because Drake ended up working with that one guy and committing a crime.
He did. He absolutely did. We had people, but they backed out, whatever, for whatever reason. But
like, I literally thought Dre had killed that kid.
All right, so moving on to the next, we go to the show. The show was trash.
Trash. Well, the show wasn't trash. The Joshis were really good. The Joshis were good.
Sumi's match was horrible.
Yeah, well, I don't. Was that the semi?
One dude kept screaming, "Is the same shit for the last 20 years? Same shit." He was like, "God, dog, bro."
Was that the semi? Was that the semi?
That was semi.
Semi.
Okay, yeah. I wanted to punch that dude in the fucking face, man. He was just annoying as shit.
He was obnoxious.
Yeah.
And then we went to the city.
Oh, this is where all the fun came at.
We go to the city and we're walking, and it was at the time Spider-Man had just came out or something. It was the stairs out there.
It was the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, wasn't it?
Yeah, because they still had the stairs out there.
Yeah.
And so we were walking to go see the stairs. And so what happened, Will?
So first of all, there's so many things. I don't know. The order of this is just going to be all out the place because I don't remember everything. Okay, I don't remember the order in which it said, but I do remember we were walking down the street. We walked past this Italian bar, and Chandra's like, "Hey, is Frank in there?" The dude's like, "Frank." He's like, "Yeah, Frank." And the guy's like, "Nah." He's like, "Yo, man, well, Frank." He's like, "I'm coming. I'm gonna go to the street. I'm gonna come back. When I get back, let Frank know Dre was looking for him." And this dude is just like, "All right, yeah, cool, no problem." And we're just like, I'm like, bro, you don't know a Frank. He's like, it's an Italian spot. There's got to be a Frank in that.
There's always a Frank.
He's like, there's always a Frank. So then we get, we go to McDonald's in Times Square. Mm-hmm. We do all the touristy stuff, look at all the touristy stuff. And then there was like the people dressed up in suits like Elsa and the snowman from Frozen and all that stuff. And they're like, "Oh, do you want to take a picture?" And I was like, "Sure," because my kids love Frozen. And so I take a picture of these assholes, and then all of a sudden they pull out the little tag, so it's $20. And I'm like, bro, I'm not paying you $20 to take a picture with you. Not on my cell phone. Like, you asked me. I didn't ask you.
Exactly.
And I thought, and then you were like, nah, that's how they make their money. And I'm like, well, he should have told me beforehand that it was $20 to take a picture with him, or I told him to keep the fuck on moving.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then we're walking.
Huh?
And then Will and Chandre just happen to notice that somebody's behind us.
Oh, the dude that, man. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, it's us three, Chandre, James Anthony. It's 5 big black guys. Well, 4 big black guys and James Anthony. But that's beside the point. We're all walking down the sidewalk. And this dude, and me and Dre realize that this dude is following us everywhere we go. Now, true indeed, we definitely look and sound like visitors, like tourists. You can tell because we cut, besides you, Vic, like the rest of us had country ass accents. So I guess I thought he had a lick or something because he's following behind us, and me and Dre stop and turn around, and we're like, "Is this motherfucker following us? Is he trying to rob us?" And as soon as we stop, he stops too. We're like, "Yeah, man, you can keep on going. You can go ahead, man." And I forgot. Did we threaten to beat the dude's ass? I can't remember.
No, that
he got on the subway with us.
Yeah.
Did he?
He got on the train with us.
Yeah, because we was getting ready to take Joe to
oh yeah, the Jersey joint. Yeah.
And that's when some other shit happened at the path.
The pizza. So we got some New York pizza. It was okay. It was all right.
What do you mean it was okay?
It was okay. It wasn't the best New York pizza.
New York
pizza.
Right.
It wasn't life-changing.
It wasn't.
It was not life-changing, Vic.
I mean, I'm not saying it's life, but it's New York pizza. You can't go wrong with New York pizza.
I also had a Philly steak from Philly, and I wasn't impressed.
Yeah.
Now I have had that depends on Philly cheesesteaks. It depends on where you go in Philly. If you go to West
Gino's
Philly,
wasn't hitting no shit.
No, you gotta go to the hole in the wall spot. It's a hole in the wall spot on 52nd Street in West Philly. Best cheesesteaks off the chain, bro.
Hold on, I gotta make a quick threatening of my co-host that said New York pizza is trash. So when I see you going to Vegas in April, just remember that, okay, Brian?
I mean, like I said, it wasn't trash, but it wasn't like everybody's like, "Oh, I gotta get me a New York slice," and it was like, "Yeah, it was okay." Maybe it's because it was late at night and they didn't make fresh pizza. Maybe if you get earlier in the day, it might be better.
It was pretty late.
Yeah.
So maybe it's because it was later. Who knows? But the black lady inside the subway station is what made the slice work. The black lady who was fussed with the 2 yuppie white guys.
Yes.
And I know if you and Dre talked about it, he mentioned that this black lady said that this white man didn't have no lips.
He didn't have no lips. And we
ain't even got no lips.
He didn't even
the rest of the damn trip, boy.
And me and Dre,
we don't even know what the context of what they were arguing about. But the moment we heard that, that's all we needed to know.
Bro, because remember Dre said, "What do you mean he got a lip?" She told he know what the fuck I mean. Oh, chicken lip motherfucker. And that was it for the rest of the trip. To this day, if I see Dre, he ain't got no lips.
Crazy.
But that trip, man, it was dope because it was a moment where the 5 of us hung out. You know what I'm saying? Like Joe and Will had always been around each other. They always hung out. They, training moments, if they're in the locker room, they knew each other. Me and James knew each other. Me and Dre knew each other. But it was a moment for all 5 of us to kind of come together and just hang out, bug out, laugh, joke. It won't no bullshit. It won't no nonsense. It won't no animosity or egos, nothing. It was like, yo, we going up here and get busy, and we're going to come back. And then if we able to do it again, we're going to do it again. So
to me, it was
when we planted the trip.
To me, the best thing about that trip was it was 5 dudes who had a chip on their shoulder because we knew how good we were. And like you said, there was no animosity between our group. It was like, we know we're good. And we went up there supporting each other.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, instead of having, because sometimes you go to these tryouts and you don't really know anybody or whatever. You might know a couple people, but they're not really cheering for you or celebrating your wins. And it was just the 5 of us going up there. And it was like us 5 against all of New York. We don't give a shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we went out there and we was like, hey, man, we was giving each other pep talks, make sure each other's gear looked good. you sitting there with the Clippers, making sure cats had haircuts and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like that's what wrestling should be like. When they tell you get a group of guys to travel with that have the same goals as you, like that's what that is right there, man. I wish a part of me really wishes it would have been us five, like the majority of my career, just going from town to town, because that shit was fun.
Yeah, man, and honestly, I think we would have scared a lot of companies to just give us whatever the hell we wanted. We had that energy without even showcasing that energy. We had that energy of like, yeah, this us.
Mm-hmm.
Most definitely.
It's gonna be.
You know, I will say that if the five of us all went to that pro wrestling Noah trial, at least two of us will be in Japan right now. Because of that camaraderie. I ain't gonna name no names. Huck already know who I'm talking about. But there was a limited window to get in on that tryout, and the window closed. So I forward the email they sent me to somebody else so they could sign up for it. And my idea is I had some of the best matches in my career with this individual, even so that Booker T himself was like, I want that match on my show. So me and this dude put on for the entire Southeast. Went all the way to San Diego to realize that this dude was out for himself. And that's a pitiful pill to swallow, because I would have did everything in my ability to make this dude look like $1 million. But instead, he did everything in his ability to make this other dude look like $1 million. Other dude went to Noah. Other dude's an NXT dude now. And I feel like with the energy we came into New York with, we were all looking out for each other, telling each other this will be good to put here. We were like each other's agents. We held each other accountable. That's the type of energy these young dudes need. You need to surround yourself with dudes that say, yo, that match was kind of ass, but here's why. Because Huck does that to me. I don't need you to tell me that match was great, bro. I ain't gonna get better from that. You know, so if you surround yourself with guys that are trying to get better and by proxy want you to get better, I mean, that's the shit where stories are made. You know what I'm saying? This is supposed to be a brotherhood. You feel me?
Yeah, absolutely. Will, I don't know if you saw the match between me and Joe at Mall Mania, but if you haven't, I'm gonna send it to you.
But see, I told Joe to send it to me. You know, Joe's starting to get up in age. So,
how did you feel ultimately about the match, Joe?
I felt like it was a moment in time because we're two North Carolina dudes, homegrown. We held down North Carolina before a lot of these cats were even known about. And for us to main event that show, and for me personally, I went to school with Ben L. Smith right around the corner. I grew up going to that mall, stealing from that mall. I met the game in that mall. Young kids, before they were streaming, we had to go to FYE. You would scan the CD, you'll put on the headphones, you could listen to 30 seconds of each track. That's how we previewed CDs before we bought them. And I'd be there during class times, listening to the new Nas album or whatever. So the fact that I got to come back to that mall and main event a show there was crazy. And that energy translated into the match. You know what I'm saying? You always have matches where you like, technically, this match went great, but there's no emotion. There's no connective tissue. But I felt like that match fired on all cylinders and everybody was invested. When you can make the crowd move with a chop,
bro,
you ain't got to do nothing else.
You know something weird, Joe? I've known Vic for like 15 years and we've never had a match. Not
a singles match.
Really?
We've had like 6-man lucha match and all that stuff, like in Asheboro for what was it, CWS, whatever, but we've never had like a one-on-one singles match in 15 years.
That's crazy. We gotta fix that.
We do gotta fix that. I mean, I got a place. I mean, I know you got Mall Mania, then I got a place as well. You know what I'm saying? Product placement right there.
Yeah, let's make that happen.
All right, gentlemen, I'm gonna go finish my workout now.
Yeah,
okay.
I just wanted to hop on and top y'all real quick.
Them delts is looking kind of small, buddy.
Don't even do that. Don't even do that. Don't even do that. Love y'all.
Yeah, love you too, bro. All right, peace. Yo,
small delts. His small delts.
Hey, you know he hates that shit.
I know he does. I know that's why I do it, man.
Man, listen, yeah, we definitely got to make that match happen between you and I, bro.
We got to go back to. You know
that,
huh?
You know, I'm no longer Victor Andrews.
Yeah, no, that was just Roosevelt. You're always gonna be Victor Andrews to me.
I know. I know. Everybody says that, and I just be like, is a total difference between the two of us. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe, but I'm not gonna. You ask me to change names all of a sudden, bro. I'm too old to be learning new names for people I've known for 20 years.
But Roosevelt is my real name.
I've never called you my real name.
Yeah, nobody's ever called me that. So
I've never called Joe by his real name.
Right.
Bro, you know, I knew Joe for 5 years before I knew his real name.
That's crazy.
We had been traveling up and down the highway
That's wrestling though.
We've been traveling. He had been in my car, in my house, around my kids. I never knew. It took me 5 years to learn his real name.
I think the same thing with me and James. It took us a long time, and I was like, "Yo, your name is not James Anthony, is it?" He's like, "No, Anthony's my middle name." I was like, "Good." I was like, "Good." Andrew's my middle name. Huh?
What's his real name?
Is James Miranda?
That's right, because he's on my Facebook. That's right. I keep forgetting that.
Huh. So we got a comment that says, "Talk about cracking wrestling."
We gonna get there. We gonna do that. Hold on, man.
We getting there. We getting there.
Let us cook, man.
But that trip, man, it definitely made us give it a better understanding of who we were and what we were trying to do.
Most definitely.
And
I think
we elevated each other every chance we could. We elevated each other, and people would always ask, you know, if you were in a car with somebody, who would it be? And we would always say us five.
Yeah, I think that tryout, because after that tryout is when all of us kind of took off as well. It's like that tryout gave us the confidence to know, like, oh, you don't have to give me my flowers. You don't have to tell me I'm good, because now I know I'm good. Because the people that I see on TV and TNA and New Japan and all stuff, these guys are worried about when I step into the building now. Right. You know, and there wasn't too much. It wasn't too much after that I went and did the New Japan tryout. And then Joe started working for Booker T, and you and James started traveling all over the place, and then Dre was all over the place. I think
me and James started doing stuff for Ring of Honor.
Yeah, I think right after that's when Chandra got his WWE tryout.
Yep.
And then not too long after that, it's like when Joe got his ROH spot. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I think that tryout that weekend was the jumping point for all of us to say, hey, I actually know what I'm doing. Like, we're actually really good. You know what I'm saying? So, but you're the New York guy, so you got to set it up for us to all go back to New York.
I absolutely will, man. In fact, you know, I'm going next week for this fight. I'm excited for that. We were talking off air a while ago about it, and you was like, "Man, we too old." But my thing is, man, I still got the energy in me, boy.
I say I'm old, I'm 46, but I'm gonna tell you the truth, man. I wouldn't do one of those rough and rowdy fights. I don't want to do.
Them jokes are hilarious,
bro. I don't have the stamina or the cardio to go 12 3-minute rounds, but I can do 3 1-minute rounds. I can do that, no problem.
3 1-minute rounds.
I can do 3 1-minute rounds. Oh yeah, I'll beat the brakes off somebody in a minute.
Yeah, well, you know, it's a different energy when you sucking wind, trying to swing as fast and hard as you can.
Yeah, but, hey, I can last a minute. I can definitely last a minute. Now, a 3-minute round? Nah, can't do that.
So rough and rowdy, if you're listening right now, because everybody listens to the Best Damn Wrestling podcast, put my man Will Huckaby in a fight. He'll take on anybody, and he knocking him out.
Look, plus I've got to do it because every wrestler so far that's been on Rough and Rowdy has lost and gotten their ass whooped.
Really?
Bruh, Hornswoggle, there's been a couple of indie wrestlers and stuff from like West Virginia and Ohio that's got beat up. Hornswoggle was up there and got beat up. Like, I've got to go and put on for the wrestlers, man.
Well, you know why, bro? And I spoke to Matt Riddle about this on Friday when I was in Florida. I said the problem is a lot of these wrestlers can't fight.
True.
But he kind of, we talked it up for a good minute, and I was like, my problem is a lot of wrestlers can't fight. And he was like, that he's happy that a lot of wrestlers can't fight, because imagine if we all could, we'd probably be in there trying to beat the shit out of each other and nobody be going home. But I was like, no, it's a level of respect in terms of when you know how to fight and you know, all right, if I lay this in there, you're not gonna cry and try to kill me or whatever, and I'm not gonna do the same.
So I mean, look at the territory days.
They get matches and they're like, oh man, I got lost. I'm like, how you get lost in a fight? It's a fight at the end of the day.
Bro, look at the territory days. Like, most of those guys were legit tough guys. And you are a legit tough guy. You don't take things personal. and you're more willing to talk about it than how these kids get on Twitter and start talking trash on social media. When you actually know how to fight, you understand the consequences of what you say.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like everybody, and then it's like, how can you throw a punch if you've never, how can you like, sell a punch if you've never actually been in a fight? How can you throw a punch in a wrestling match if you've never actually thrown a legit punch? So when I
Right.
train people, I teach them how to throw a legit punch. And then
Right.
I also put on like a 16-ounce boxing glove, and I hit them with a legit punch. I don't
Mm-hmm.
go 100%, but I hit them enough to make them feel contact to say, "Hey, this is how a punch feels. This is how it feels to get punched in the face for real.
Right.
This is how it feels to get punched in the stomach for real. Like, how can you sell it if you don't know what it feels like?
Right.
Right. But no, I think every wrestler, even if you don't know how to actually fight, you should have some kind of combat experience, whether it's amateur wrestling, judo, jiu-jitsu, karate, fighting out in the streets, whatever the case may be. Like, you need to have some kind of combat sports training.
Yeah, because it gives you a better mindset of how to defend yourself and how to protect the person that you're working with. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, if you get ready to throw a heavy ass punch, and all right, let me pull this a little bit back. You know how to pull it back. You're not actually going out there and rocking the white's jaw and breaking the white's teeth and shit like that.
Exactly. I mean, I've been in the ring with some of these young kids, and it's like, hey, I try to practice the art of pro wrestling. So if I'm throwing strikes, I'm not trying to hurt you. But it's like, hey, if you keep tagging me, kid, I'm gonna pop you in the jaw one good one. Kind of like how Brock Lesnar did Braun Strowman. Like, no. You got to, now it's my turn for a receipt, kid. You got to eat this one. Sorry.
Right. Absolutely.
It's like, sorry, no, sorry.
Nah, you good. But yeah, let's talk about Kraken real quick.
Oh man, Kraken is I would say now, man, Kraken is probably the best thing I've ever done in wrestling. It's, they always say you want to leave wrestling better than what you found it.
Mm-hmm.
That's Kraken Pro Wrestling. It's a independent wrestling company down in South Georgia, in Tifton, Georgia, where there's really nothing. We're like 2.5, 3 hours away from Atlanta, which is awesome. I don't got to deal with the Atlanta wrestling drama and politics. Mm-hmm. We do a monthly show, second Sunday every month. But what we do is we take every show, break it down to 4 episodes. And it's not, when I say 4 episodes, it's not just like, oh, we cut the matches and just drop them like you see a lot of these indie companies do. We do backstage promos, we do backstage vignettes, things where it's a legit, 20, and every episode is between 25 and 30 minutes long. So you can watch an episode of Kraken TV while you're doing your cardio in the gym. If you're on the treadmill, if you're doing 30 minutes of treadmill, you just pop on this week's episode. Mm-hmm. It drops, episodes on YouTube drop every Thursday. Usually we try to drop around between 7 and 8 o'clock at night on Thursdays when there's really no good wrestling on. But what I love about Kraken Pro Wrestling is that people always say like wrestling's too choreographed. Wrestling, mm-hmm. They miss the old school feeling of wrestling. Oh, they miss wrestling when it was real. And so I tell a lot of our fans, and people don't realize this until we tell them, I'm a very old school booker. When it comes to writing the show, I'm an old school writer. And so I have rules. It's like, hey, nobody's allowed to come off the top rope unless I tell you can. Because growing up watching wrestling, if you came off the top rope, they used to call it high risk, high reward. If you went off the top rope for a splash, if you missed it, there's 9 times out of 10 you lost the match. If you were off the top rope and you made it, 9 times out of 10 you won. We don't do dives every. My guys aren't allowed to do dives. If you're not in the episodic main event, you're not allowed to do dives. You're not allowed to come off the top rope. You're not allowed to powder and fight on the outside. None of that stuff. Mm-hmm. And so our fans have been conditioned to where if somebody comes off the top rope, or if somebody does a dive, or if somebody's fighting on the outside, it's a big deal. Everybody doesn't have a finisher. We still respect actual legitimate wrestling pins. So you can watch episodes of Kraken and see somebody win with a schoolboy, see somebody win with a backslide, see somebody win with a small package. Like, those are legitimate wrestling moves, and we use those to help tell a story. Mm-hmm. And so, myself and my tag team partner, Sam Hansen, we consider ourselves a teaching company, but at the same time, you still have to know you can't be you can't be the drizzling shits and come to Kraken. You still have to have professional TV ready ring gear.
Mhm.
You have to be professionally trained, be legitimately trained, and you have to be at a certain level. We're not going to accept just anybody. If you're in the business, there's a good chance I'm not going to book you. I'm very particular about who I bring in the locker room because we both know the wrong person in your locker room can ruin your company.
Right.
They can cause drama and stuff 100%. So I'm very picky about who I bring into my locker room. And the way we film everything is through seasons. Like we're about to wrap up season 2, which ends in our anniversary show in May. Season 1, we do year long. I'm a very old school wrestling fan, so we do year long storylines. And most of the time, all of our storylines conclude in May, our anniversary show, where we start more storylines for the next year. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, pretty dope. We're about to crown our first ever tag team champions in May at our anniversary show. I think you'll like this, Vic. So we did a 10-month long tag team tournament where we started off with 8 tag teams, and because this is indie wrestling, now we're down to like five or 6.
Okay.
People get hurt, people get injured, people move, whatever the case may be. But we do a 10-month long point system driven tag team tournament where the top 4 teams with the most points in April will face off in the semifinals, and then the winners of those 2 matches face at our anniversary show, and that's how we're getting the first actual tag team champions.
Okay. That's
So
dope.
we don't do just a one night tournament of tag tags. It's like, no, because we both know you might be on this month, you might be on, next month you might be off. So it has to be consistently. You consistently have to get these points, kind of like the New Japan Cup. So it took us 10 months to do that. Trying to think what else is special about Kraken. Ask me some questions. I can't remember.
What about your women's division? How's the women's division?
We don't have a women's division. I don't
Okay.
believe in women's divisions. If females want to be seen as equal, then I'll let them wrestle the guys. We have all of our matches are intergender.
Okay.
And I feel that it's how you present female wrestlers or whether or not they can win a match or not. We have a female wrestler named Jasmine Jones who her finisher is a rear naked choke, and she's choked myself. She's choked me out in the match. So it's like, could we have a female champion? Most definitely. I think when wrestling fans are like, oh, women can't beat men, Ronda Rousey can beat the average man in a fucking fight.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of MMA females in MMA who are these females weigh 120 pounds. Chris Cyborg could beat the average man in a street fight.
Absolutely.
So don't make it seem like she can't. You know what I'm saying? Could Ronda Rousey beat me in a fight? I'm gonna say I got a shooting chance as long as it doesn't get to grappling.
Yeah.
As long as I keep it a stand-up game, then yeah, I might be able to beat her. But if it comes down to wrestling and jiu-jitsu and judo, she has me hands down.
Right.
And so that's how I present. And that's how I look at women's wrestling as well. So no, we don't do a women's and plus also in wrestling, female wrestlers are so expensive. Like Jesus.
Ridiculous, right? Ridiculous.
Like,
and then because they're so expensive, you can't get but so many.
Exactly. It's crazy. You'll see these companies with a female champion, and they'll have one match, and it'll just be 2 females, and then next month the champion will face a different female you brought in. So the women's title doesn't really have a story. At least with the way we do it at Kraken, we have on average 2 to 3 females on every show. And they're in our scramble matches, they're in singles matches, they're in a tag team match. So we present females as athletes and not as female athletes.
Gotcha. I see a lot of independent companies starting to do factions now. You guys working in fractions or anything? With Kraken?
So I'm gonna give you an exclusive right here. Season 3 will be all about factions. So season 1 was just establishing. Our first year was just about establishing the company, establishing the main title. Season 2 was about tag teams and establishing our tag team titles. Season 3, we're really going to focus on factions, and we have a brand new championship coming up. We have a title in the works coming up. Not going to announce it just yet, you know what I'm saying? But we have some other things. We have another title coming up in the works and stuff. But yeah, that's what season 3 is going to be based around factions.
Okay. Now for me and Brian is not a wrestler. He's always been a wrestling fan, but he's very good with marketing. And for me, transitioning from being a professional wrestler to going into the promoting aspect,
Mm-hmm.
what was the difficulties for you in terms of doing that?
So I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm not the promoter.
Okay.
I'm the booker. Sam Hansen, Sam Skaggs, he's the promoter, and we have very distinct roles. He's the promoter, I'm the booker. Yes, I'll give because I'm the vet, and he's only been in the business for 5, 6 years. So I'll give him advice when it comes to promoting and different ideas to promote the show. He'll give me, ideas as far as booking goes. But we have very distinct roles, and we don't cross those lines. You know,
Okay.
for me, it was easy. It was harder for me. So I believe there are bookers and there are matchmakers.
Hmm.
Okay, so anybody can be a booker. Booking the show is just booking 15 to 20 guys and putting together the best matches.
Hmm.
Or that's a matchmaker. I'm sorry, matchmaker is just grabbing 15, 20 guys and putting on the best show. A booker is somebody who creates stories, the long term stories. And you ask them, well, who's going to be your champion a year from now? A matchmaker can't tell you. A booker can. A booker can tell you who's going to be his next two champions 2 years from now.
Hmm.
You know, um, for me, it was harder to learn how to write a TV style show. And so, luckily, I've had a lot of great mentors who actually wrote TV and actually worked with guys who wrote TV, like Brian Logan. Oh, you remember Brian Logan in Tennessee,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
So Brian Logan, um, Tony Givens over there now at Innovate Pro Wrestling, Bo James over there in Tennessee. Like these are guys who have been who either worked with the Jarretts in Memphis or they worked with Cornette and stuff at Smoky Mountain or whatever. And so these guys knew how to write TV. And so they helped me the first year when it came to writing TV. And
Okay.
between the first year and just being underneath that learning tree for the years before then, I picking up things of, hey, this is how you write TV, and you got to write these segments, and segment one, segment two, segment three, and you always want to have these kind of moments in this segment. So it's a working, and of course things evolve. How the show looks now is different than how it looked when we first started. I think it looks a whole lot better. We've
Hmm.
really streamlined our process of how we shoot. I'm a very like I said, I'm a very strict booker. So like our call time is 1 o'clock. Show starts at 4 on the dot. Our show starts at 4, and by 6:20 we're out of there.
Nice.
Something I think that's something you would enjoy, Vic, is that I book about between 30 and 34 wrestlers every show. And we have about 9 matches in 2 hours.
Oh shit.
It's about from 4. We start at 4, we get done about 6. This past Sunday we had a show and we got done at 6:20. And we had a 20-minute intermission. So 9 matches in 2 hours.
That's crazy.
But that's also because my team the roster has been trained to know that nobody gets over 10 minutes. Every match has a 10-minute time limit except for the main event.
Hmm.
The main event gets 12 to 15, sometimes 20. They got a 20-minute time limit. So these guys know, like, hey, there's no bullshit. When you get in the ring, we don't got no fluff. It's, hey, let's get to the business. Um, I've been very lucky to have certain agents such as Aaron Black, Joe Black, Charlie Kills, who used to be known as Charlie Anarchy, Dominique Stuckey. Like I have a bunch of guys, Ryan Wright. These guys are all agents who help my young talent put together these shows and put together their matches. And then I hold my vets accountable if these matches end up being shitty.
Right.
So it's like I don't. If two young guys have a bad match, yes, I give them critiques, but then I look at their agent and I say, hey, what happened?
Hmm.
Because this is not what we talked about. We have some amazing guys in the production crew. It's amazing. So we're very lucky down there at Cracker. You should definitely come check it out. We just had Tim on the show this past weekend.
Okay. Oh yeah, yes. I think I seen it. The Pantheon going down there and doing some things, man.
Yeah, we might bring the Pantheon down. You never know. Joe's down there, so the Pantheon's not too far behind.
Right. Oh man. But check this out, bro. This has been a great show. We usually do this segment every show.
All right, what is it?
We've been talking about a bunch of different things, but I want to go ahead and let the people see what you got on the mic with our segment called Best Damn Promos. Okay. And so you and I are gonna go head to head. You get one promo each, and we're gonna cut a scaling promo against each other. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna go from there. You cool with that?
Yeah. I'm gonna let you go first. It's your show, so I'm gonna let you go first.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, y'all go ahead and get ready for our segment because we're going to war. Where do I begin? Simple as that. Let's start from the beginning. You have been a man that everyone feared for a very long time, and you carried that weight like it was feathers, like it was a pillowcase full of feathers. And anybody that ever stepped in your face, you chopped them down. You let them know that you were the king of kings anywhere you went. You were the Will Huckaby. And I kept hearing about these stories about Will Huckaby. When he gets in the ring, he hits hard. When he gets in the ring, he'll chop your chest off. And I accepted that. I challenged that. And I remember distinctly, me and you were face to face. And in fact, a couple of days ago, I saw this in my memories. We were face to face, and you were telling me, man, if you don't get out of my face, I'm going to hurt you. And I looked you dead in your eyes, and I said, Will Huckaby, all you got to do is say when. Well, when, Will Huckaby? When are you and I going to get an opportunity to stand face to face, toe to toe, and throw hands like men? Throw hands like Spartans. Throw hands like warriors. Throw hands like titans. All show you've been saying, Vic. You're living in the past of someone that you knew from years and years ago. Well, Huckaby, I'm no longer that Victor Andrews that you watched with dreadlocks. I'm no longer that Victor Andrews that you stepped in the ring with that wore a mask and some lucha gear for a local show. You see, I am Roosevelt Conyers. I am the man who likes to fight. And you are the man that I need to fight. So, Will Huckaby, you game or is you playing?
My turn.
Go for it.
I don't get the little doom doom. I don't get that.
Yeah, I can get it.
Vic, I've known you for 15 years. And for 15 years, we've been friends. Sometimes we've been on the opposite sides, but you've never stood face to face with the Mid-Atlantic bully. You never had to step in the ring and face the Incredible Hulk. And now you feel because you're Roosevelt, you puffed your chest up and you think it's okay. Now you feel that you're ready to go to war with the Incredible Hulk. Vic, I like you. I've always liked you. I think you're an incredible talent. But you have to realize, Vic, that I don't have much time left. I don't have any time to joke. I don't have any time to play games. So anytime I get in the ring now, it's a problem. Any person that stands across the ring from me now has a problem. And now, Vic, you've talked yourself into a corner. There's no running. There's no hiding. And I know you got your little boxing skills. I know you got your little judo, your little karate. That's not going to help you. Because like Mike Tyson said, everybody has a plan till they get punched in the mouth. Everybody has an idea till they get chopped in the chest. Everybody has that confidence until they're standing across the ring from the man that they whisper about in locker rooms. See, Vic, I don't think you understand, Roosevelt. All these black super heavyweights you see in the Mid-South, they got that from me. I was the first, so give me my due. Now, come in this ring, I'm going to shake your hand. I'm also going to break your back. I'm going to snap your neck. And then I'm going to get out. I'm going to get my pay. I'm going to go buy me a fifth. You're good, Vic. You're not great. You're not the incredible Will Huckaby.
Shots fired.
Look, now I'm like, man, now I got to come to North Carolina, man. Like, oh, man, I will say this. I'm so jealous that North Carolina has blown up in the last 2 years, man. Like, oh man. We both remember how North Carolina, especially the side of North Carolina we're from, east of Raleigh, where they used to look at that side of North Carolina like they was the redheaded stepchild of independent wrestling in North Carolina. And now you guys are doing so much great things, man. There's so many great things going on in North Carolina, man. I'm so jealous, bro. Oh,
hey, man, you already know the border is always open, so it's always you can always come home.
Look, you know what? You're right. But I don't know, man. You know how that saying goes, you can't go home again.
Hey,
I've been in Georgia so long, man. People forget I'm from North Carolina.
Right.
Oh,
you can always come home, man. Listen, if we could find a ring to jump into, we can make some things happen, bro.
Oh, most definitely. Man. I'm definitely
and we're both in a position where all it takes is a phone call, an email, a message, and we can make some things happen, man. But I want to say, from the bottom of my heart, man, I'm so proud of you. I'm very, very honored to have been your friend and been your brother for the last 15 years, to watch you grow as a man, as a father, as a husband, and then now, a professional wrestler, fighter, promoter, booker, everything, man. Like, people, you don't meet people in this business that actually sticks around long enough to become brothers. Everybody throws that word around so much. Oh, brother. But it's not many people that you have in this business that's actually sticking around long enough to really live to that title. And you are one of the guys, and all 5 of us on that amazing road trip, man.
Oh, yeah.
I'm really appreciative from the moment I met you at CWS, and you and Hot Shot against me and James Anthony, and and I'm gonna tell this quick story, and then we're gonna wrap it up. When you step in a ring, in a professional wrestling ring, there's a level of respect and there's a high level of trust that you got to have with somebody. And I remember distinctly when you and I and Hot Shot and James, we were in the back, we were talking over the match, and you was like, yo, I want to hit this move. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
I want to hit the package pod drop.
Yep.
And he was like, yo, I want to do this, and we're going to do it on the floor, on the bare floor. And I looked at you and I was like, I've never taken that before. And you said, yo, trust me, I got you.
I asked you, I said, do you trust me?
Yeah. And I looked at you and I said, I'm with you. And we did the spot, sold it like it was supposed to be sold, but we did the spot. And then at that moment, we got to the back and we looked at each other and we was like, yeah. It was no need for no words or anything. It was like, yeah.
In my head, I was like, I can rock with this dude.
Yeah.
Now, I will say this, man. It's been a pleasure. A lot of people don't realize, man, that like you were probably one of the first wrestlers who took, especially like in our generation, who took this seriously as a business. I remember back in the day, man, like and myself included, kind of laughed at you, you know what I'm saying, about how serious you took yourself as a brand. And you were the first person to really take himself seriously as a brand and with merchandise. And I remember everybody was laughing at you about, when myself included, was laughing at you about wearing suits and stuff to the shows and dressing a certain way and carrying yourself a certain way, man. And it turns out you were right. But I'll admit, on your podcast, you were 100% right. I really wish young Will Huckaby would have listened to you. You know what I'm saying? Back then, when you were like, "No, man, you got to brand yourself. And you got to make sure the way you present yourself. You got to dress for the job you want and not the job you have." And I know you want to be comfortable, but man, when you go in the front of these promoters, like, you have to have a certain look. So when they see you, and I really wish I would have paid attention to you back then. But a lot of people, I want to give you your flowers, man, because you was one of the first guys on the Indies who really took the business part of the wrestling business serious, and that's why you are where you are now. I remember you being in the locker room, man, doing your college homework, when all the rest of us was cracking jokes and shooting the shit, and you were in the corner, getting your college degree and stuff, man. Like, a lot of people don't understand the hard work that you put in to get to where you are now, because they didn't see the hard work. But I want to let you know, I've seen it and I remember it, man. I want to give you your flowers, man.
I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that for real. So drop your social medias, man. Let people know where they can find you, bro.
Man, the easiest way to find me is on Facebook, Will Huckaby. You know what I'm saying? I'm an old man, so I mean, even though I have Instagram and TikTok, and follow me on TikTok, but Instagram, TikTok, Twitter is WA Huckaby. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok is all William Huckaby. I'm now a content creator. Turns out. I mean, I haven't made a lot of money on my Facebook, but I made a couple of dollars. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, hey, if you make $1 on Facebook, you're a content creator. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So now I'm a content creator. Follow Kraken Pro Wrestling on Facebook. Follow us on YouTube, man. Like, share, subscribe. For a lot of people watching this, we realize that, professional wrestling, and we really make money based off of not only the fans in the building, but our social media. Mm-hmm. So it's free to subscribe to a YouTube channel. You know what I'm saying? It's free to just cut the video on and just let it play while you're doing your cardio or while you're on your way to work. You know what I'm saying? Just support indie wrestling, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Y'all already know y'all can catch me on TikTok, official_Mr. Everything. You can catch me on Instagram, Roosevelt the Fighter. I'm preparing for this trip to go to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania this Saturday for AWWA. We get out there and get busy. Next week, I'm in New York for this MMA fight, Flex Fight Series, my debut match. I'm going to get in there. I'm going to knock this 24-year-old dude out.
You better not lose.
Oh, no. That's not allowed. It's not allowed. Not allowed. Yeah, man. And y'all make sure y'all follow the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. Make sure you subscribe to us on all our social stuff, on our YouTube, on our X, on our Twitch. You can look us up on Siri. You can look us up on Spotify. We're on all platforms, Apple Music. Just say, I want to listen to the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast, and boom, it's right there in your ear. Will Huckaby, I honor you, bro. I love you, man. I appreciate you being on the show. Thank you for coming up here, giving us the laughs, the memories, the great stories. You are now part of the alumni with Ron Simmons, R-Truth, Joe Black, Chandre, EC3, Ricky Morton, and the list goes on and on and on. We're here every Wednesday, y'all. We'll be back next week for another show. Hopefully, I'll be able to join the show. I'll be in New York getting ready for this fight, but we'll see what happens, man. Will Huckaby, I'm gonna need you to help me close the show. I'm gonna say on the next best, and when I point to you, I want you to say damn, but I want you to give the most vicious damn that you can ever pull out of your chest. You ready?
Gotcha. All
right, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate y'all being here. We can't hold you no longer. We'll see you next time on the next best
damn
wrestling podcast. We bid y'all adieu.
Man, that was pretty fun. Bruh, I'm so amazed. How'd you get all these different sponsors for your podcast, man?
Hold on 1 second. Make sure this. cuts off.